Now, Walsh will be the first independent candidate to win the election for Syracuse mayor in over 100 years. He was in a tightly contested race with Democratic candidate Juanita Perez-Williams up until the very last minutes. That's right, Keith. Today, Nike and its partner Autism Soccer introduced the first annual Kicks for Confidence, which will take place in the new year. It's a one-day soccer clinic that will be open to the first 68 members of the foundation from ages 4 through 14 that sign up. But how to keep the mumps from spreading? Just a little soap and some water will go a long way. And that work hasn't only been done at the iSchool, but also here in the Carrier Dome as the coach for one of the more recognizable faces on campus. But for the people of the Onondaga Nation, lacrosse is more than just a game. While more and more wildlife may be returning here to Onondaga Lake, General Counsel for the Onondaga Nation, Joe Heath, says that despite the cleanup efforts, there is still a lot of work to be done.
The idea of embodying the kind of communication that a book has as a person is really appealing to me.
If you stop by Bird Library at Syracuse University this afternoon, you could do the usual. Find a seat, do some homework, or you could check out a human book. Today marks the 5th annual Human Library event at SU. About 15 members of the local community will volunteer their time and expertise on various topics. All you have to do is check them out. Librarian Abby Kasowitz-Shear says the unique opportunity is all about education.
I guess one of the main purposes of the event is to learn about people who are different from them, learn about different cultures and backgrounds.
The Human Library has a more basic goal as well, to get people off their phones, to just sit and talk.
Even with the expanded character count on Twitter, it gets really difficult to have extensive, in-depth conversations one-on-one.
Today, people are so focused on online communication, social media, texting, and we don't have as many opportunities to actually sit down and have face-to-face conversations.
But that can all change today. Just stop on by. And who knows, in those 20 short minutes, you might just learn something new. Nick Dugan, NCC News. On December 21st, 1988, a terrorist attack took the lives of 35 students studying abroad through Syracuse University. Every year, the community remembers through the marked and empty chairs that represent the seats where each individual sat on the plane. They remember through the rose-laying ceremony at the place of remembrance in the heart of campus. And with the addition of this pop-up museum, students now have a chance to learn more about the tragedy and its victims on a more personal level.
I think it adds that human aspect that we have in some of the portraits that we have hanging around campus, but it really kind of creates a deeper dive into the experiences of these students and of these families.
The exhibit aims to inform students about the events of that day and how it is remembered throughout the world. There are even some photos of those young adults that lost their lives all too soon. A feature that the scholars hope strikes a chord with passers-by.
I mean, because if you look at those photos, they're not very different from the ones that people take and post on Facebook now. I think it really helps students identify with them, even though it was almost 30 years ago.
For almost 3 decades, educating students has been the goal of these remembered scholars. And not just about the bombing, but about the people. Students, friends, dreamers.
I think it's so important for new students to understand that these were real lives and not just numbers, not just statistics in a terrorist attack.
Reporting from Syracuse University, Nick Dugan, NCC News.